Veto na nagopta na kami na lichtaat kaya ake le woyake gwako na na kontaku iwonglako. Ontale magpia het gak met na let geschaar tot sa wigla. Chatona nagopta na kami na lila pilawya. This is the KILI storytelling hour. We come up here every Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. And I want to thank all you listeners out there. And when my nephew finishes telling you where he comes from, I think we will do some shout-outs too. We usually remember people that always listen to our show. So,
thank you. Lecture, Brian. This is Dennis Ghost from Oyukbe, Manderson, here on the Pine Ridge Indian Res. And I'd just like to say thank you to KILI Radio. Say hi to everybody out there in Lakota land, Pine Ridge, Rosebud, Cheyenne River, Standing Rock. We're doing also my friends back home in Michigan. I'll be back there next week, hopefully next week for a couple days. So, and I know a couple friends are listening. So, school ended, and we're doing the Lakota language immersion at Chunkbe Opi, which is a Wounded Knee there in Manderson, to help the kids, the kindergartners and first graders, to continue on with the language and the things that they learned through the past year, that so we don't lose it. I even take part in that, because I'm still in the process of learning the Lakota language. It's very important that we have kids there and participation every day. And I'd like to say a big thank you that goes out to YouthWorks. They're in Manderson. They're painting houses today. They're working with the kids. Reading, writing, games. They're doing things for the Lakota children. There's groups from Colorado, Kentucky, pretty much all over. And this will be going on for it's like 8-10 weeks, something like that. The different groups that come in, and they do a great service for our children, for our community. I really want to say hi to Vinny and Mike and those guys out there. So the story we had today is a pretty long story, but very important story. As Lexi Brian gave this to me earlier, and I learned 2 or 3 things off this story that we're gonna tell, and after Brian gives the shout outs, and don't move your radio dial, because it's a pretty important story. We talked about it a little bit earlier today. To the students, the students that we do have, and then the visitors we do have from YouthWorks. Part of the story got relayed to them today, but it's not really it's not an Iktomi story or anything like that. This is real life stuff, and Tuli Karen and I we reread it today, and it's a great story. So don't go anywhere. As soon as Lexi Brian's done, we can get started on this. It's a pretty exciting story. I'm sure everybody will be able to get something from this. So.
Before I forget, I will do some I know Charlie is always listening.
Yeah, Chuck's always listening.
Yeah, he looks at one of his school, and he comes from Martin every day.
Mm-hmm.
And also Akichi Tahanska is Pachtok Pahetia Yakina Le. Že narovtante, čaky če dahanska narovta na kaheče hata čaja takun ikte osni ožile osni tak inš takun sni oleo ona nakon le Maryland nakon Maryland does the radio show on the every Monday evening, and for Lakota College, and elected. She does a very good job, and they have all kinds of activities coming up this weekend at the Lakota College, and it starts probably right now.
Yep.
Through Sunday.
Yeah.
We have a big wachipi over there. So all you dancers out there, get your feathers ready. Get them azilkiapo. Igluwayapo. And then Karen, like Scott said, I got this from the computer, and told her to read it. And, she told me to correct a couple words, and that's say thank you. It's okay. And then my Takoja Braylon, he's at the house now. So I'd like to say good evening to both of them.
Could I? A couple here now that I was just thinking about it.
On the Prairie Edge too. Before I forget, we have listeners in Prairie Edge,
Savannah, and Savannah and her crew up there. It's always a treat walking in there and talking to them. You know, they're in Rapid City, but it's like they're so far away from where we are. And it's they get excited when we tell them something, or we've been somewhere, or they get a kick out of that. So, but I would like to say, they had a wachipi in Pine Ridge over the weekend, and as for the veterans, and being a veteran myself, and Lexi Bryan being a veteran, it's pretty important that there's not a lot of people out there that celebrate and give thanks to veterans like the Lakota people do. It's not just on Memorial Day or Veterans Day or D-Day or anything like that. It's always it's a continuous thing, and that's I really appreciate that. That the Lakota people put on and they honor us. We were out there, we danced, and I'd really like to say thank you to Chris Eaglehawk, Melvin Youngbear, Tyler Yellowboy, Wes New Holy, and all the veterans out there. That great job. It was absolutely just awesome to have that many drum groups there, the singers, and then the people that showed up, to pay homage to the veterans that are on this that are here in Pine Ridge, and all the surrounding communities. It's pretty. I'd really like to tell those guys thank you, that to do that, take their time out, and to honor us that way is awesome. So
it's every wachipi you go to, they honor the veterans, and they are in Grand Entry, and you see all the veterans organizations. And, today we have a lot of organizations that they do a real good job.
That's
so that is it's patriotism.
Yeah.
And, they're patriotic, and also honor is an honor.
That was the
key word.
That was the word I was looking for, honor. And going back, where I came from in Michigan. I'm not knocking any outside cultures or anything like that, but really, a veteran, we're going to honor a veteran. It's Memorial Day, Veterans Day, but here, being Lakota, you're honored all the time. They have songs, veteran songs, and that doesn't happen anywhere else. Within any other culture.
In fact, today, at the school, during one of the classes, the lady that's in the National Guard, she served on active duty. Now she has a total of 28 years. 28 years. Did she ask you about the Lakota people, how they honor their veterans.
Yeah.
And maybe, she heard this, and then spending 28 years in the service like that somewhere, I don't know where she came from, Kentucky or...
Kentucky.
Somewhere.
Yeah, she's from Kentucky.
See, in other cultures, you come back from, say, Army or Navy or Marines, and then you don't see that.
No.
What you see here in the Lakota culture.
That was one thing that I had a discussion in the fall over precisely that was, what happened when you got out of the Army. I went home.
Yeah.
I went home. People were happy to see me. There was no honor. There was no, oh, thank you. That's still good enough. But how the Lakota do it is it kind of blows your mind that that's. But we're talking about something that's hundreds of years. They've been doing this for a long, long time. So that's just the honor of it. That it's the appreciation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Appreciation turns into honor. So. And
then we have the Veterans Wall at the college. Do you see that?
Yep.
At the college. Yeah.
Yep.
And you go over there and look at all the names on there.
Mm-hmm. And that's the lady we talked about that today was what exactly happens.
Yeah.
From the stories that I'd heard, these are just stories, but the Vietnam War, when others came back into society out there or whatever, just bad stories. But when they came back as Lakota from war, there wasn't the bad stories. They were honored the proper way, the same way they honored service members coming home now. It's the same way that they don't. They were just happy to have them home, and then the appreciation and the honor they bestowed on them. That there was, and that was a different time and place, but it's still that's the honor and the sacrifice hasn't changed. So that's and I've never met so many people that they're so proud of being veterans than right here. Just proud. To me, that's just awesome.
Yep. That's and then now we have a long time ago, we didn't have the female service, the veterans, but now we have a lot of...
they honored the young Marine female over there, and when
really honored to see that.
By far.
And it's today I was talking to that lady, and there was another young lady in there. She said her sister was in the... Navy, I think. And she said she might, I don't know what, she high school or college, that one there, the one with the braids. So, as an elder, I always think of, my wife said, I always think of the worst, the bad things.
The bad things, right. Right.
I said, I have 3 things that I want to tell you before you go into the service. I said, number 1 is get all the education you can before you go. And then the other one is don't get homesick.
Right.
And the other one is don't get into trouble.
Right.
And the other one is don't get married.
Don't get married. Right, exactly.
Especially if you're in the early 20s. I don't have nothing against marriage, but when going to the service, you're going to be gone for at least 2 years, unless you're in the National Guard, or maybe even 3 years. I don't think they have 3-year enlistments anymore. They used to have it in the Navy.
Right.
But now it's 4 years, I
4
think,
years.
for Marines and Navy and the Air Force, and Army has, I think, still has 2 years.
Especially in today's climate, that it's almost a certain, especially in the Army, it's almost a certainty that you will be going to Afghanistan.
Yeah.
That's 100%, almost 100%. So you're married.
You're going to be worried about...
Yeah, a year, you know, you're going to be gone for a year, any way you look at it.
Yeah.
So, you know, marriage just doesn't work. You know, at that time. I mean,
the thing is, you're not going to worry about anything. The only person you're going to be worrying about will be yourself.
Exactly.
You're going to be out there for 1 year or year and a half.
You know, and that was the thing too, is that, you know, when I talk about these things, this is from personal experience. You know, the personal experience. Yeah, I married at 20, wasn't even old enough to go into buy a beer or anything. Not even 21, but I was married. And that lasted 6 months because, you know, she was also in the Army. She got deployed.
Yeah.
She would get back from her deployment. I'd be deployed a week later. You know, there was at one point I got to see her. Out of the 6 months, I probably actually spent maybe 3 to 4 weeks with her.
Yeah.
And then finally, we just realized this is the most stupidest thing I've ever done. And we'll call it quits right now. So that's you know, that's. Like you know, being married, that's good. It's you know, maybe it's not for everybody, but you know, for the majority of people, they at least try it, I guess.
The other one is like getting homesick. We all get homesick when we go away, and if you're going to be gone for a whole year or 2 years, but you know, that might be, I don't know, today's life or today's world.
Yeah.
Now we have the cell phones, we have the computers where you can actually sit and talk to each other, watching each other and talking to each other.
Yep. You know, and I do that on Skype with friends back in Michigan. It's made that easier for me. You know, coming out here and staying. You know, I have been homesick. You know, because you know, Michigan. You know, it's really, you know, I can't say home. Home is wherever you're at.
Yeah.
You know, that's just what I'm most familiar with is Michigan, is how I should say it. But you know, just like my dad said over in Michigan, was that Michigan's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, if you think you're going to come back here and you know, you're going to just not really in the same rut, but you're going to be doing the same thing.
Henderson will still be there.
Right. So, you know, he just told me, he goes, well, if there's certain things that you have to accomplish while you know, it'd be best if you never came back to live. Mm-hmm. That if that's where you're most comfortable and that's where you can do the most good, stay wherever you're at. You know, if you can accomplish things and help others, that's where you have to be.
Mm-hmm. And the other one, that staying out of trouble, that's just each person. It's like today you have a lot of you can do a lot of running, do some exercise. There's all kinds of things that you can do and keep you, you know, have a well-balanced life. Yeah. So, you know, that's it. So those are things, in case somebody out there that's thinking about going into the service. Those 4 things are really important.
You know, and that's the thing, is the homesick part. Is that, you know, you know, wherever you're at, and I'm not trying to discourage anybody, but you know, you have there's good and bad in everything you do. It doesn't matter if you're whatever you do. There's good and bad, but the thing is that you know, AWOL, that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing.
Once you do that, then so.
Mm-hmm.
But today, I think, like once a person goes AWOL, then a lot of times they just go ahead and say, well.
But that also
it goes on your record.
That stays with you for the rest of your life. That's almost like bad credit.
Yeah, because you signed that contract.
You know, and that's the thing is, you know, VA loan for a house or GI Bill benefits. Those are all you'll never be eligible for that. And that's a scary thing, you know, in today's society, because education is not cheap.
So that's, if any recruiters out there are listening, we're not really against the military.
I want everybody to go in.
We're just saying that when you go in there, be ready.
Right.
Prepare yourself. Make a plan.
Because they won't be sending you to rapid for basic training.
No.
I'll tell you that right now.
But like we said today, you can keep in touch. Just keeping in touch is right at your fingertips. You can talk to each other while you're driving. You can anywhere in this world. You can fly nowadays.
Yeah.
You can go to the Rapid City Airport and fly to, like say if you were in California, your mom and dad can plan and fly out there. Or you can even drive out there.
Yep.
But a long time ago, that was pretty hard to do. Really hard to do. Well, anyway, that's... but it is an honor to be a veteran. And you're going to see many places. You're going to have a job.
Yep.
And so it's,
and then the other thing too is that you become part of a inner circle.
Yeah.
Because there's certain things that I identify only with a certain number of people. I can't go out and tell the average citizen what I did in the Army.
Yeah.
They have no idea.
No.
But an Army veteran come up and talk to me. They know exactly what it was like for me to get up at 6 o'clock every single morning and do PT and work till 12-hour days, 6-7 days a week. They can identify with that. So that is one of the best parts is because wherever you go, you'll always have friends.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You go to Dallas, Texas. Go out to a restaurant, you'll find somebody that was in the Army.
It also you learn how to live with other cultures, whether they're black or whether they're Filipinos. There's a lot of shouldn't say Filipinos, but Philippines now part of that they can join them. Puerto Rican residents, they can too. Yeah.
So
and every one of them is treated equal. Now,
that's the best part.
Yeah, we mentioned two things that we will be talking about in this story, and that's the equality and the road, the red road and the black road.
Yep.
Those will be coming up. So if you're on the road or if you're at home, keep it right here on 90.1. You're going to be hearing about why the circle is important to the Lakota people. And I just want to say thank you to KILI Radio for this hour. And I want to say thank you to, I can never remember the person's name, but I think his last name is Kolak. Right now he is recording, he records every Lakota show on this KILI Radio. And people actually turn them on and
listen to them.
Listen to it and listen to the Lakota words. Also these Lakota stories or anything that we talk about over the air. They listen to it. So thank you. I want to say thank you to them for that help. Right now the school that we're doing is going pretty. We're only doing this on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays, and we do it on like myself and my Toshka and Karen and Babette. We're doing it on our own. Yeah. We're just because of our language.
Right.
We just do it on a voluntary basis.
Yep.
It's because of who we are. We want to keep all these stories. KILI Radio. And then those people that are listening out there on the internet or other places, if you have an extra $1, send it to KILI Radio.
Yep.
Because every person here that comes here,
they're volunteering too.
Volunteering for services.
Yep.
And it runs on. Today, nothing runs by itself.
Right.
It runs on.
That was. Hercules the other day. Somebody brought him pizza. Yeah. That's. A lot of people drive by this road, especially now it's paved.
Yeah.
Like Derek. Derek was out there. I see he was cutting grass on that hill, sweating. A pop or something. I'm sure these guys greatly appreciate it, because what they're doing, it's just not for me to come up here and talk and relay stories, but this is for the Lakota people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then look at the road.
Oh yeah.
You've seen the change since you were here, and that's just happened lately. We used to come up here, and this place down here used to be like a
mud bowl or it's frozen solid. So
I couldn't come up here a couple of times.
Yeah.
I actually put my brakes on, put it in park, and I still went down the hill.
Right.
So today, and if you see it now, you wouldn't believe it. It's all paved.
Yeah.
It's very nice, looking nice. So whoever did that, whoever.
So don't be afraid to come up here now. Instead of calling it in, come up here, and I'm sure these guys would, any visitors they would like, especially if you have pizza, pop, or chips or whatever. Bring what you have.
Also we want to thank the parents that in Oyuchpe and Chankpeyopi, and we need more parent involvement. If you can talk the Lakota language, come anytime between 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, you are welcome. And you are welcome to help. Mm-hmm. You can tell a story, you can talk to the children, or you can talk to us, share, so that we can get stronger and stronger. Well, we have a story here. And this one, I don't think maybe I did it, and I don't think I did this one, but I typed it out. Mm-hmm. You will hear the source later. The person that, the book that I got from is Marshall. Joseph Marshall.
This is one of the first books. This came from one of the first books that I read when I got here to Pine Ridge, and basically it's like a life guide, I guess you could say. It pretty much describes to a T, the Lakota. The Lakota, how you're supposed to live, how you live, how you carry yourself.
We see in our life, perception,
and a lot of explanation, and comparisons to what goes on from being Lakota to the white society or black society, whatever. There's a lot of comparisons that what we have is. And of course I'm biased. I am Lakota, but it's just how much, how special we are as Lakota, and the things that we have that no one else has.
The other one is 2 days ago I got a call, and a person was on the KLND up in Little Eagle. KLND is on the Standing Rock Reservation. And a caller called them and asked them where the four directions came from. Chatuye Topa.
Right.
Because this has the four directions.
Four directions, yeah.
Tells about it. So there's people out there, like even, like I shouldn't say even, but KLND is doing this. Mm-hmm. They have Lakota talk shows, and they have people that call in and ask questions, and they even have Lakota thoughts, I think, on their radio. So that's it's going all over now.
And that's
really good.
And that's the other thing is asking questions. That's especially on the radio, you don't have to give your name or anything like that.
Yeah.
You just make up a name or whatever, and if it's a question, it's a question. Because that old adage that the only stupid question is the question not asked. So ask. I do all the time, almost to the point where it annoys people. But that's the only way that I'll find out.
Yeah.
Because I can't. There's something that if I read something and I don't understand it, it just drives me crazy that I have to find an answer for everything. That's why. What is the meaning of life? Okay, that's a question nobody will ever be able to tell me. So if you know the answer, please get a hold of me because I really want to know.
Well, the story we have this evening is the title I put on there was "Walking the Circle." So if you want to do this,
story we have is "Walking the Circle." Kahomni, which is the circle, is prominent in Lakota life and is used practically and symbolically because it is a part of the reality of the physical environment. Toss a stone into a pond and waves flow out from the center in growing circles. A falling leaf in autumn often spins in circles before it lands. The sun and the moon are circular, and from our perspective, they move in circles. The most powerful force on the plains, the tornado, moves in a circle. Life itself moves in circles or cycles. Our annual calendar is a cycle of 13 months or moons because it is based on the cycles of the moon. There are the 4 seasons that obviously cycle continuously, year after year. And the life cycle for all beings is birth, childhood, adulthood, and old age. A sweat lodge is a simple circular structure that, according to the author, symbolizes Lakota spiritual beliefs and traditions as well as life itself. Perhaps the most practical application of the circle was in the design of dwellings. A circular floor plan goes back a long way, so far, in fact, that no one can remember when the design was first used. When our ancestors lived on the plains, they favored conical hide-covered dwellings. Both could withstand high winds and were relatively easy to erect and take down, and they were built from readily available materials. The conical dwellings, or teepee, which means they live there, was portable as well. Living in either type of dwelling was a constant reminder for the inhabitants that flowed in a circle and that they were unalterably connected to everything that was part of it. So the design was based on practical as well as spiritual needs. When our ancestors moved out onto the plains, their conical dwellings were arranged in a circular encampment. A typical encampment, or village, was small, usually 20 to 40 families in roughly that many dwellings. When space and topography of a chosen site allowed, a small village would be arranged in a single circular row of dwellings. The larger villages would have double or triple rows of dwellings. Because each individual dwelling faced its door to the east, the entrance to the village was also to the east. East-facing teepee doors and village entrances were both practical and spiritual. Prevailing winds, especially in autumn and in winter, came from the west and northwest, so the door needed to be on the sheltered or lee side of the dwelling. An eastward view was also a greeting to the new sun each day, thereby acknowledging the continuous circle of life. One of the most popular designs seen on Lakota art or cultural artifacts is the medicine wheel. The Lakota word for it is chungleshka, spotted wood. This literal description is from the 4 colors painted on the wheel or hoop, which is made of wood. The shape and the colors often represent the power of life, hence the translated term medicine wheel. Having pejuta, or medicine, can mean possessing a certain power or ability. The medicine wheel is circular with a balanced cross of two intersecting lines in its center. The ends of the lines connect with the wheel at 4 points. The circle represents life, and the two intersecting lines represent the two roads in life. The good road, usually painted in red, and the bad road, usually painted in black. The good road is also referred to as the red road. It is the most difficult to travel. The bad road, the black, is a wide, easy way to go. These are the two basic choices in life, and we choose one in every situation, the good or the bad. The 4 sacred colors of red, yellow, black, and white are included in the medicine wheel. The medicine wheel incorporates another important symbol in Lakota tradition and spirituality, the number 4. Like the circle, the number 4 represents certain realities in life. There are the 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, and autumn. The 4 directions: east, south, west, and north, and the 4 basic elements of life: earth, wind, fire, and water. As a symbol or artifact, the medicine wheel can be found in 2 or 3-dimensional Lakota art and in the art of many other tribes as well. It is a sacred or holy symbol for traditional Lakota people. The way the cross is for Christians and the Star of David is for Jews. The greatest principle the circle symbolizes is the equality that applies to all forms of life. In other words, no one form of life is greater or lesser than any other form. We are different from one another, certainly, but different is not defined as greater than or less than, and we all share a common journey, the Maka Wichoni, or life on earth. In English, the circle of life. This is a much broader scope than a Judeo-Christian ideology that man has dominion over other forms of life. The concept that all life is equal doesn't necessarily circumvent the food chain viewpoint, wherein living things are either prey or predator, those who are eaten and those who do the eating. The smaller, weaker, and slower are killed by the bigger, stronger, and faster. Undeniably, that is the way the natural world functions. The survival of the fittest and strongest, some call it. But whether we are prey or predator, weak or strong, we are all part of a larger community, the largest of all, the circle of life. There is a reality that makes the mole equal to the bear, a reality that connects us all whether we walk, crawl, fly, swim, or grow roots. We are all born and we will all die. This is such a simple and quiet reality that we humans allow our arrogance to obscure it and our ignorance to deny it. No matter who and what we are born, more or less fulfill our purpose or destiny, and then we die. The most powerful creature on earth cannot cheat death. So in that sense, the biggest, the swiftest, the most intelligent is no more powerful than the lowliest. In the end, the earth will reclaim us all.
Makawi choni kili chuha le uua ogana mauni pikele mimela kapi ohe chaun le han na kontrosh tuktel blewanjel na instruktel meniagla nakina ich ewanji benikta ich beata meni krasna inkte ohechase na kontrosh taetu hata vanash na ko chape kelena waya has na ikhpa na ikhpa hata na ko kuta kya ukile mimea okaich is na homeni Hispaya.
That's Lakota way.
Honanakole wikile. Nahan wikile na. Honanakumi mela. Honanakole na le wanyanka vekta le nanakumi mea okavich. Honanakuta akwan lila le hanwash aku. Yotash le omakhaki. Hatet khanka. Le nakom mimea kahuman. Honanako le oon kitcha le wichonik le. Nako. Akwa mimela tsbenohia. Na omakhakile. Nako. Omakhakile wi akeamani. Le mimea. Ohel mimela manako. Na omakhakile nako le omakhayakile nako topa. Hona wichonikile. Nako topa kapi. Uki chagapina akhaja. Wichashana wiya. Winuchtula wichashtula. Nakule oini kakile mimela. Kap. Nako le mimela kile. Nako ihani pekta ke wanito nas opayre samya opayre nako nas ekta vikchemna zapta wa heha to any solution to halena het le mimea typically na lena blai ekta typic lena nako le type wa na typic le mimela na lena khatet na nako wobl to honi lena ka khovias sutahe ochale tipi lehano gap hani lena tikja lena nako to hatu kash lujuju na yabuki hani igalaka chon Chalena toha takilena elung kumpi le hani oyate hani le kumpi lena lecha se kumpi chake le mimela kile hanka wankapi lena ko toha tuktel etib hata Nako mimea ewi chotika. Wana sel tiwa he wana swikchemna to waya. Lena yuha he mimea shna wichoti. Wana nako le wichoti kili ichuha nako. Yuha Yohia patakia, Tiopakia Gila. Holena Contako Hitchum. Honanako le Taco le Wiohia patakia, Tiopa Ekigile Pekile, Koshwanietu, Naispaetu, Antat Hatekile na Gahok. Wecham. Honanako le Wiohia patakia etua Ekigile Pekile, Tin Hetchata Wihinap. Honanako Tuktektel, Lehan, Wichitoa. Kilananako le Changaleshka untoa. Ohelnako Changaleshka Kilil Manash le Hosh le hogana chi o unkapi na o unki le topa kapi ona changaleska kile na ko le oyate wichoi chare kile yache le makocho account kile ona ko le shana skana sapina si ohetas ona na ko le changaleska kile o uma onde chankulu ta na onde chankulu sapaya chankulu ta kile yanke le manas otechika kapi hogana tua mani kile chankulu sapa kile oechwasta hocha umkiepi kto może czego nie jątkać chociaż czego kilele han na kotaku topa ja kilele to ajkwak khosle omakha wa gihuni bi hatta hel wanetu wetu bloketu stajet ona na ko le hatuye topa kile uyohia pataka toka hataka uyohia na waziata naish nako le makhot shmaka kile khate namni atakuile hachalena toha niang kompikile na wang نقول خوش يوها ل مخاوي تشوني أكله ليل وكنا معوني بيكلي تشوهنا كو تويني لخوش نكوا مخش كان يشوان يابي نايش بيتشاشا نويا لنا تخش هو تخنقيام بته نهو خويتي قال نهو خطيك قال نهو خنقوهيتي قال لنا لناش نقول لنا تين ويتشايو تابي وشالنا أبيتو يوهلا دوكش كي ويتشونيكته دوكش كي أنفيكته لنا للقاعد Chalena le changaleshka kileta lena wowa ke hecha is woiwa ke hapsecha is na ko woa blese hapsecha etan khak achana ko utu epikash to ni le makhak le aka to han yang yakt ko he Apelo le Lakota way after Joseph M. Marshall III. A lot of things in that story. And the one that I would like to share is the red road and the black road. It says in there that the red road is the hardest one to take, and the black road is the easiest to take. Mm-hmm. So, but today, because of all our schools, maybe, or maybe the parents, the KILI radio, we always encourage people to walk this road.
The red road.
And today we really encourage, like I heard this the other day, that the red road also drug-free and alcohol-free.
Oh, alcohol-free, right.
Yeah, and that is really important today. And also the one that I see is that today we have a lot of education is part of it.
Mm-hmm.
This Lakota way is part of it. And the black road is where sometimes we don't know who we are.
Right.
Or where we come from. Yeah. So I think that's really important for me. And what else? What else do you see in there? In Chingalishka? That everybody's equal.
Equal.
No matter how big you are, how small you are.
That was the smaller, weaker, and slower, are killed by the bigger, faster, stronger. But ultimately, we get reclaimed by the earth.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter,
who you are, what you are. You can crawl, you can fly.
Right.
You can walk. That word ultimately will return to the earth.
Then the concept that all life is equal doesn't doesn't circumvent the food chain.
Yeah.
Because we all feed on smaller, weaker animals, but still we all end up in the same place.
Yeah. I learned a lot from that book, that story.
Right.
And sometimes, one day I was looking at this chart. I think Karen made that chart. You've seen that
one?
Where in here, did I mention that in here? I don't know. But what grows? There's 4 parts to remember: the root,
exactly.
The root, the stem, the branch, and what grows.
Yep.
So there's, I don't know. That 4 is just there. Another one is the 7.
7, right?
Yeah. But he didn't mention the 7 in here, but the 4.
The 4.
The 4 is important. It's because of the
very prevalent
4 directions, the cycle of life,
mm-hmm.
the 4 seasons.
When you're, Homblecha, 4 days. There's 4 days for everything. That's
maybe we will do this again down the road sometime.
Outside, if anybody has anything to add, because because that's the one thing. Everything is open to interpretation.
Yeah.
That's the best part about it is that there's no concrete answers for anything. Not anything, but certain things. There's just red road, black road. There is no gray road. It's a red road, black road. How you whatever what road you're on. You know where you're supposed to be. But just the 4. That's what I was trying to convey to a couple YouthWorks students today. Was that the life cycle being newborn, childhood, adulthood, old age, is that when we're born, we're in a human body, but we're nagi. And then as you get older, you rely on somebody when you're just a young baby, and then once you become an elder and you're getting ready to go home, is that
you go back to
you have to be taken care of before you go back home.
A baby again.
You're going back to where you began. So that's pretty powerful though. That very powerful statement at the end is that in the end the earth will reclaim us all. That's you couldn't be any more concrete evidence than that. So
well. And I want to thank all you listeners out there. If you're on the road, have a real good evening, and we will be here again next week. And we'll turn it back over to Eric.
Derek.
Yeah.